A few years ago now, I really decided that I was going to focus my work more and more on love. This was partly because each one of my major inquiries always took me to love in the end. When I explored happiness, it became clear to me that really the key to happiness is being able to truly love and be loved. When I was exploring my work with success intelligence, it became clearer and clearer to me that really success is about finding or creating a definition of success that you love and doing the work that you love. In my leadership work, it became clear to me that really a true leader is the person who is willing to love the most. Everywhere I went, I kept on ending up at love. And so I wanted to really focus my work more and more on love. I started by writing a book called Lovability, which Caroline very, very kindly wrote a wonderful endorsement for and supported me with. After that, I wrote a book called Life Loves You with Louise Hay. This book was really exploring the principle of basic trust, which is that really that life does love us and that we love life. And when we really commit to living a love-centered life, we're transformed by it. More recently, I wrote a book of poetry on love. It's called Finding Love Everywhere, and it features 67 and a half wisdom poems to help you be the love that you're looking for. And in this book, I made the point that our destiny is not so much to look for love, it is to become the most loving person that we can be. If we commit to love, this is what will help us to end the search for happiness and actually be a happier person. When we commit to love and we really allow ourselves to love and be loved, this is what's going to help us be more successful in our life, more inspired in our life, and also, I think, step forward more and more as a true leader. I think it's okay to take a moment to imagine what the world would be like if more and more of our leaders literally led with love. Wouldn't it be amazing if more and more of our politicians, for instance, actually, signed some sort of a vow to love the people they serve more fully than ever before? Imagine a medical system based entirely on love. Imagine the education system of the world as well being totally love-centered in its work, helping children to love themselves. I mean, truly love themselves. In my school days, I had one class on love that I can think of. It was, and it would have come from English literature, and it would have been Romeo and Juliet. Studying Romeo and Juliet, the play that has been described by many as the greatest love story of all time. Now, as the story goes, the ending isn't that great, is it, if you remember? And yet it is, I believe, a great love story. Shakespeare was offering a warning to all of us, a warning that has been sounded down through the ages. And the warning really was that the Montagues and the Capulets, if they couldn't work out how to love each other, then what chance did the future generations have of loving each other? And I think that's true for us now. If we can't work it out as a generation, then what hope is there for the next generation and the generation after that? When I studied psychology at university, we only had one lecture on love in 6 years. It was a lecture on interpersonal attraction theory. So that wasn't particularly satisfying. And we did study really Freud as much as anything in my studies. And Freud actually did say something very interesting about love. He said that in the final analysis, in order not to fall ill, we must learn to love. And I remember that particular lecture very, very well, because those words leapt out at me, and I've taken them to heart ever since, and I've written extensively about that because I think there's a great truth in that. The Enneagram is a remarkable system. It's still much of a mystery to us how it even exists. It's 2,500 years old. It comes to us probably from ancient Egypt and ancient Greece. And I'll speak specifically about the relationship between the Enneagram and the Desert Fathers and the Desert Mothers, the great mystics of that sort of 3rd and 4th century, and how there they started to create this system for us, which, using a wonderful blend of mathematics and music and sacred geometry, they have given us a path of growth 9 times over, which will help us to truly, truly embrace love as the truth of who we are, embrace love as the central guiding mechanism of our life, and actually how we can use love ultimately to fulfill our great mission, which in Greek terms is called anthropos, which means to become fully human and fully divine. How are we going to do this? Well, in each of our classes, we're going to focus on one of the Enneagram types, but also one of the soul meditations on each of the points of the Enneagram. So we will go through a total of 9 meditations on love. And just to give you a little bit of a flavor of that right now, at point 1, we will, for example, look at perfect love, and we'll look at the natural laws of love and how they work perfectly when we're in alignment with them. At point 2, we're going to look at unconditional love. We're going to look at ways in which we can give love without issuing an emotional invoice, but also we're going to look at how can we make it easier for life to love us and for others to love us. At point 3, it's all about our sacred activism. Love is the heart of activism. So at the moment, you need to ask yourself, what is my work of love in the world right now? That might be loving yourself. That might be loving your family. That might be doing more of what you love to do. It's important that you know what that is. At point 4, we're going to meditate on what Thomas Merton calls our secret beauty. And I'll leave it just at that because there's some mystery to that one, but it's a super exciting class. Class 5 is on omniscient love. I couldn't say that for a minute. Omniscient love is what I meant to say. And omniscient love there's an aha here, and it's a big one. And it's what helped me to change my relationship to love, really. Omniscient love is about recognizing that love is intelligent and that love knows how to love. And so therefore we can ask love to show us how. At point 6 on the Enneagram, we are going to be exploring the theme of life loves you, how we can work more with basic trust and how we can let love guide us, bless us, and inspire us in our day. Point 7, we're going to be looking at omnipresent love. We're going to be looking at the difference between searching for love and being a truly loving person. Point 8 is omnipotent love. And here we're going to be looking at the power of love to transform our lives. At point 9, the final point, this is holy love. And this is where we will look at how we can be that much more present in our life, in our work and our relationships, so that we can be that love that we are looking for. Throughout the program, it is really my hope to share with you inspiration from all of the wisdom traditions, to talk about some of the great spiritual teachers from our world, including the great Greek teachers like Plato and Aristotle, but also Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Maya Angelou, Thich Nhat Hanh, Thomas Merton, and others. And it's also to share with you meditations and prayers and practices from these traditions as we walk through the Enneagram together. For me, of course, the super exciting bit is that Caroline is with us on each and every class and is going to be offering her spiritual direction for us as to how we can really live a truly love-centered life. I know we're both super excited to offer this program. The Enneagram gives us a chance to look at love in its cosmic sized proportions, as well as in the detail of our lives and how we can make it a genuine spiritual practice. I do hope you'll feel called to join us. And if you are called to join us, that's a wonderful thing. And I look forward to seeing you there and taking this journey with you together. God bless.